Actually, KSF wasn't the only organization that I donated, but my relationship with KSF started about maybe 2-3 years ago. One of my good friends, who's a professor at University of Houston, I think he's a professor of sports management. I think he was a president at that time. And before this episode, I was not aware of Korean American Scholarship Foundation. He called me. I know him because I played tennis with him. He called me out of the blue and said, hey, we need a keynote speaker for this scholarship gala that we're having. And so it was an honor and privilege for me to be asked. And so I went and spoke there. And that was my first exposure to the Korean American Scholarship Foundation. And I thought it was a fantastic organization. I loved the simplicity of its mission. It just purely exists to give out financial scholarships to various students of various fields, emerging leaders in the next generation of Korean American community, and thought, what a fantastic organization it is. And at that point in time, I think I was asked by a couple of the board members to be able to join KSF. And so I was giving out a couple of scholarships under my mother's namesake. Her name is Shinja So, and she had passed away about 4 years ago. And so I wanted to honor her, and I wanted to give out scholarships in her name. And so, but the Lord has really blessed me and my family. And so I thought I'd establish like an endowed scholarship. So I did that for KSF because just purely I love the simplicity of its mission, the absolute focus on just handing out scholarships to students. I thought that was very appealing to me. Another thing that's really attractive when I was looking at KSF and my involvement there as a board member, as well as contribution in terms of scholarship, was its tremendous amount of legacy. I mean, it's greater than 55 years of giving out scholarships. I think it's financially stable. It's, I think, one of the very few scholarship organizations that has a significant amount of endowment that's very, very stable. So I think that's really, really good. And I think if we can improve upon kind of that endowment aspect of the Scholarship Foundation, I think it'll get even better and better. So I don't know how many scholarships that we give out in the Southwest region that is maybe kind of the chairman scholarship aspect of it, where it's endowed as opposed to year-to-year discrete giving. But I think if we can improve upon gaining some more donors who are more apt to donate towards the endowment, so that it will be a perpetual a rate of return on that investment, and that it'll be the scholarship would be given out in perpetuity. I think that would be one way that KSF can improve. Quite frankly, other than that, I think KSF, you guys are doing a fantastic job at what you guys are doing. Other than that, I don't see that much in terms of improvement. Maybe just a little bit more involvement at the national level, a little bit, maybe more interaction amongst different regions per se, and sharing of ideas of the leadership and what has worked well, what has not worked well. Maybe just exchange ideas at the leadership level, maybe more on the national level. That might be helpful too. Well, looking back in my own academic career and academic journey, obviously any finances that could be put towards my academic endeavors was a great help to me. I was raised by my mother. My mother raised me and my older sister by herself mostly, and so I'm sure there are a lot of students with various backgrounds that might have some financial hardships. And so anything to decrease the burden, the financial burden of that, I think is fantastic. The other aspect of it is, I think, having the interaction with the Korean American Scholarship Foundation and its donorship and its board members. I think our board members have a wealth of experience, expertise in terms of career development, career pathways. And so I think that interaction between the recipients and possibly the board members and their expertise and their experience could be very, very helpful. I think there are people that are in various fields, and the board actually represents various industries and fields as well, the oil and gas industry, the entrepreneurship, medicine, possibly law, engineering. And so if there are touch points where the board members can pass on their experience, knowledge, and a little bit of the mentorship, I think that can be very, very helpful for a lot of the scholarship recipients too. And it doesn't have to be, significantly in depth, but I think any touch points, I don't necessarily believe in accidents. Things happen for a reason. People meet with other people, develop relationships for a reason. And so any touch points that you can have, any exposure to some bit of wisdom to those who've gone before you, I think can only help. So. My gifts or my experience. You know, I was kind of, I'm a little bit hard-headed, a little bit stubborn in the way that I came up in my life and my career. I think looking back in my life, if I was a little bit wiser, I would have sought out more mentorships. I would have sought out more guidance per se. I was so independent, you know. A lot of people are. It could be their personality or their upbringing. But I think if I can speak to my teenage years, or if I can speak to myself in my 20s, I would say, you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are a lot of lessons that you can learn by you doing yourself, pursuing it, failing multiple times, and also succeeding. You can't take away from that type of experience, pursuing things, trying things, taking risks, succeeding at it, failing miserably at it. I mean, those things stays with you. And I think I've learned a lot more in my failures than my successes. I think you hear a lot of people say that. But if I can speak to my younger self, I would tell myself to really reach out to people who are a little bit wiser, who've gone even just a little bit ahead of you, ahead of me. And so if I can be a little bit of help to those who are reaching out for some sort of wisdom, some sort of experience, some sort of expertise in the path that I took, I think the scholarship recipients who are possibly on a similar path, you know, they don't necessarily have to be on the same path, could be helpful. So, you know, I can pass on the things that I learned in my failure. I can pass on the things that I've learned in my successes. I'm a board certified emergency medicine physician, but I'm an entrepreneur as well. About 12, 13 years ago, me and my 4 partners founded a company that owns and operates emergency rooms in the South Texas region. So we have about 400 employees, about 120 docs that work in our system. So I've learned a lot through this process. I learned what it means to be a business person. I learned what it means to be a physician, a clinician, and to be able to marry that together. It wasn't easy. And so I think I learned a lot from it. And so if there are people that are on the entrepreneurship path, people who are on the path of medicine, or people who are in a similar boat as me who might want to pursue the business side of medicine, you don't have to reinvent the wheel too much. You can learn from people that have gone before you. So hopefully my experiences can be a help to some young people as well. So I think we live in a country where I think independence, leadership is highly valued, and rightfully so. But I think some of my colleagues, when I look back in my younger days, the guys that were wise enough, they sought out mentorship, they sought out advice and wisdom from others. And looking back in my life, nothing came easy. Everything was very difficult. Nothing was piece of cake. Everything had its own challenges and obstacles. And so if I can make it a little bit easier for someone else to be able to navigate through the path, I'm all for it. So. That's a really good question. I think for me, this is just a personal perspective on finances and money. I have a very spiritual, I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of Christ, and I have a very spiritual perspective on money, right? So money for me is the end result, a consequence of what God has given me in terms of my gifts and talents, whatever skill sets that I have, or personality or pursuits, and me putting that into practice and trying to be productive and be fruitful with my gifts and talents and my experience. And the end result is money, financial remuneration. And so for me to donate finances, money for scholarships, literally means, in my perspective, in my worldview of money, is I'm actually putting forth my time, effort, and energy, skill sets, and gifts that God has given me to earn those monies. And so some people might say, oh, Dr. Kwon is giving money because he's got lots of it. He just might, give it out of plenty. And don't get me wrong, the Lord has really blessed me beyond what I can imagine. But me donating funds for a scholarship to a scholarship recipient is almost like me pouring out my gifts and talents and experiences that I've utilized to be fruitful, to earn the money. And so giving out the scholarship for me is putting all of who I am into that scholarship and hopefully impacting the next generation of student leaders that are coming on. And so I think maybe having that perspective of hey, it's not just money that you're giving out to students, it's everything that you've done, whoever you are, all your gifts and talents, and all that hard work, time, effort, and energy that you sowed into your business or entrepreneurial endeavor to earn that money. and then you're pouring that into a scholarship recipient. And if you view it that way, I think it's incredibly rewarding. I think it's incredibly, fruitful endeavor, if you will. So I'm a firm believer in the parable of the talents in Matthew 25, how you ought not to be burying your talents, but you're supposed to be utilizing your talents so that you can be even more fruitful. And scholarships and supporting students is just another way for me to be fruitful with the gifts and the talents that God has given me through His grace and His mercy. And so having that perspective, I think, just makes it amazingly worthwhile experience for anybody that would donate scholarships to. And so I would highly encourage that I guarantee you, anyone who donates finances and money for scholarships, you get much, much more in return, knowing that you've impacted positively some of the students that are coming up, who are trying to find their way, who are navigating in their academic path. It's incredibly rewarding. It's a way to be more fruitful in your life. So I would highly encourage anyone who's thinking about it to be able to donate and to be able to impact younger students.